So Equinix found amazing opportunities in our talent acquisition team. We really looked at how we were going to answer the growth, right? Since we opened the doors, we've been growing.
How many employees are like for
over
people that have
15,000 globally?
15,000 employees.
Yeah.
People don't realize how massive Equinix is.
240 plus data centers around the world.
15,000 employees. There's a lot of need for talent too, right?
Yeah, tons. Well, we've been growing we now say over 20 years of consecutive growth. We were at 77 consecutive quarters of top line revenue growth.
That's fantastic.
So basically, since 1999,
did you guys have a pause somewhere, or is it still going?
That
record's still alive.
Yeah, still going. Last quarter, top line revenue growth. Yep, another record.
How many quarters? 70.
Well,
long time.
Yeah, it's like 20. So we're celebrating a 23-year anniversary this month.
23.
This
so that's
next
80,
week.
90. Okay, got you.
A lot of
She went to
consecutive
public school
quarters
in a better
of growth.
place than us. She didn't have to use her fingers. Did you see that?
So it was amazing, right? So
that's what it is.
She breaks it down by quarters.
Yeah. It used to be able to be like, I think my wife used to say that she could have already smothered me in my sleep and been out of prison by now.
Yeah, that could
good behavior probably.
Yeah, probably.
So keep going though, because the deal is that's a big program.
Yeah,
and that's a big deal that you guys have the ability to do that.
So we did a lot of things during COVID, right? We recognized that there's a lot of talent sitting on the shelf, right?
Interesting.
People got furloughed. I mean, the world didn't know what they were going to do the next day. So
explain to people what the DoD Skill Bridge program is, though, because
a
lot of people don't even understand it exists. You guys were at least smart enough to take advantage of it. I don't think a lot of operators have.
Yeah, the Department of Defense and the Department of Labor and got together and they said, well, there's some 200,000 people getting out of the military every year, right? Majority of all of them don't stay within their job that they get out of within, for more than 2 years. A lot of suicides, a lot of homelessness, a lot of.
And the genesis of this was like in the tail end of the collapse of the secondary lending market, like 2008, 2009. So it's not like this thing's been around for like the VA home loan. I mean, this is fairly
new,
right?
Yeah.
And I think the government said, "Hey, look, if you've been institutionalized here, it could be really, really hard to feel comfortable transitioning into the civilian fleet." So we've created this incubator program.
Yep.
And that's the DoD Skill Bridge program, and you guys have used it. So explain it from your context.
So you get every transitioning service member leaves within within the next year or two, what you're going to do. You're either going to take new orders or you're going to get out.
Right.
So the Skill Bridge allows somebody to go on temporary assigned duty or TDY orders to an approved vendor with a memorandum of understanding, where you qualify as a company based on a really long. Like it's longer than buying a house paperwork, right? And you get qualified and you sign a letter of understanding. And usually, during COVID, it was really hard because they weren't accepting a lot of people because there wasn't a lot of ability to process because nobody was really working.
Right.
So I don't know how, but we got through in like 3 months.
Oof.
So we got our program. The first year, actually, that was 2020. We had 9 skill bridgers. We converted 6 of them. The only reason why we didn't convert the other 3 was because 2 of them wanted to finish their education and go to college. And then the other one actually moved to Virginia from LA and got another job. We got him another job.
It's actually not designed for you to hire them all. It's designed for you to give them experience.
Yes.
So it's not like, look, 6 out of 9 still, that's 2 out of 3, you're crushing it. And that means naturally there's going to be some that are they're going to want to go somewhere else as long as you help them.
Yep.
They're actually sometimes going to maybe even do better because now they could go to a place and be like, look, I have experience from Equinix.
Yep.
And that's a lot of credibility because that's a premium brand, right?
Yep.
So like the goal is just to give them experience.
Yep.
So that way they could have a fighting chance,
Yep.
right? Because experience is the one thing that, like we were talking about how, Navy nukes do great. There's a lot of people who do great. They don't have to be Navy. They could be, the 11 Alphas,
25
Bravos,
networks.
Like I'm telling you,
the ATs.
We were hiring. One of the best hires we ever made was a Coastie. She was a damage controlman. She's Advantage now, but she was on a program with us. She was one of our we have an OVITA is the Overwatch Veteran and Transition Apprenticeship. We're basically starting our own skill bridge program, but we're absorbing the cost of it. So I'm like, look, I'll eat the cost for 6 months. for this person to have some experience, because then when I do put them on a program, I can justify charging X for them because they do have something legitimate. Typically, we make them get like a CDCP or some alphabet soup behind their name.
Give them a certification with it.
For sure. But that is very deliberate and intentional. And that by the time they're done, they know, they spec in the language well enough. They know the ecosystem well enough. They understand what their role and responsibility is.
They got keyboard time.
Yeah, and they understand the language, right? They understand the lexicon that we need to use in this space because we talk in shorthand, right? But it doesn't matter, is what I'm saying. We've hired MPs from all branches. Like, it does not matter what you did. What matters is what you're capable of doing.
Yep, aptitude, attitude, and potential.
That's it.